Okay na, press.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Mm, Good afternoon. If makaya sa, if your internet connection is stable, you can open your cameras. Without further ado, let us start this group discussion activity with a prayer. So let us bow down our head and put ourselves in the presence of God. In the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit. Amen. O Lord God, thank you for this day. Thank you for all the blessings that you've blessed us. Thank you for this opportunity that we have met again for another activity that we need to accomplish. May may you bless us today, this afternoon, that we may successfully accomplish this task. And we ask for your wisdom so that we can explain the topics clearly and discuss it among our friends that happens to be the group members of this group. So, in the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So again, good afternoon, everyone. So we have met again for another activity that we are going to discuss. So without further intro, so please next slide. So today there are how many topics we're going to talk about? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So we are going to discuss 8 topics for today. The first is the electric field. So what is electric field? According to the slide, electric field can be considered as an electric property related or associated with each point in the space where a charge is present in any form. Kindly discuss this to us, Maria Luisa.
So, electric field is also defined mathematically as a vector field. So, when we say vector field, it represents the fluid flow, which is also expressed as the electric force per unit charge. Then, ang formula man kung aning electric field is E equals F over Q, where E is the electric field, F is the force, and Q is the amount of charge.
Thank you for that. Another, Marfe.
Yes, so good afternoon to everyone. So electric field can also be described as the electric force per unit of charge. So it is also assumed that the field's direction corresponds to the force that it would apply to an electrical test charge in that direction. So another is that electric field is a positive point charge is present that the electric field is radically outward, and when a negative charge would when the negative charge is present, rather it is radically in. So in any point in space that has charge, regardless of its form, has an electric force, ay electric field associated with it po. Also, it can also be divided as in the katong giingon gani ni Luisa sa value of E, which is also indicate its magnitude and direction. Wala ta ko ma-share po. Thank you.
So, thank you for that. Um, if na-share na ang idea sa isa ka person, then you don't have to reiterate again. Kaya i-capsulize na nato na every now and then. So, so that's a reminder lang kay para dili na balik-balik ang atong idea on while we are discussing points. So, but anyway, thank you for that, Marife. Let's go to, or let's move to April. April, do you have any idea that um, you can share with regards to the points presented in this slide?
So good afternoon everyone no. So, electric field is a region of space around a charged particle or object in which an electric charge feels a force. So, ang electric field is a vector quantity and can be visualized as an arrow pointing towards or away from a charge. So, ang lines dito are defined to point ra- radially outward away from positive charges or inward toward negative charges. Yun lang po.
Thank you for that. It seems that you have stopped or you have tapped the idea also of the representation of the electric field, which are those lines that are representing the direction of the force in an electric field. So thank you for that. That's a good idea. And let's move on to Eloisa. If you have any still or if you have any idea that haven't been mentioned yet, you can have the spotlight.
They all say the idea that I want to say. Ay, wrong grammar. Ano, they already tackled the ideas that they have been that I have been want to say to you guys. So, yun lang po. Wala na akong iba pa na masalita kasi yun lang din ang yung mga yung idea ni Maria, then yung idea ni Marfa, then yung idea ni April kay na state na na tanan sa akong answers. Wala na po.
Thank you for that, though you haven't shared your idea. But then, the fact that you have the same idea with the other members here na nga nag-share na, I mean, that's a good sign that you already have a foundation of idea with regards to what electric field is. So, I guess this is my turn now to share my idea. So, what is electric field? So, when we mean electric field, I mean, the electricity itself, the electricity and the field. So when an object is charged when an object is electrically charged, it emits or it exerts force. Na ay force nga ma-emit niya pag naka-charge siya. So that force creates a field. That field is an imaginary ha. A not imaginary, but it is not visible, but it is it is what the nature of when a charge it is the nature of a charged object to emit a force that then creates a field that mo nang ginatawag na electric field. So apparently, the electric field is the region where gibalay mo ra siya region or space na siya nga nag-surround sa source sa charge niya. For example, na ay positively positive charge kanis siya kibali. So kaning si positive charge only ang potential ang source of charge. Kaya naman sa charge, so it means it or this charge can emit force. Pag mag-emit siya og force, then that's the time that it will create an electric field. Pareho lang sa it is the same as the magnetic field. When a magnet emits force, it creates a magnetic field, 'di ba? For example, sa Earth, 'di ba? For example, sa Earth, though not electric field but magnetic field, but I guess pag i-discuss na nato, pag i-share na ako or maybe we can get an idea from it, 'di ba? Our electric field comes from our core, 'di ba? The magnetic field of our planet Earth comes from the core, 'di ba? Sa molten core nato dito, si ang source of energy sa magnetic field. Si magnetic field, mao na siya ang it somehow has the effect or the importance in shielding our our planet from forces that wanted to interact with our planet. Though because kung wala pa tay kuan, kung wala pa tay magnetic field sa atong planet Earth, then the outside forces coming from outer space would directly affect our planet. So the idea of that, same as this electric field. So when a charged object will emit force and then creates a region where it surrounds itself. It envelops the source itself. So kagainan you have said it is shared by Luisa and Marife that the electric field is denoted by the formula um, the vector quantity of electric field is equals to force is equals to the force by the quantity by the magnitude of the test charge, which is katong Q. And I also indicated that in the next slide. Next slide, please. Oh yes, here. How to calculate electric field strength. Electric field strength is denoted by the symbol E and can be calculated again kaganina ingon equation. Ang equation ni is E is equals to F by Q. Then the E is denoted by the electric field is denoted by E. The F is denoted by force, and then the Q is the magnitude of the test charge or the charge of an object. And I guess we don't need to further discuss about that because it is very it is understandable naman. So here, so not only are objects can emit or can emit force to form an electric field. Also, the positive and negative charge themselves can somehow create or by nature they can form an electric field that would surround them. So it is said here that the positive charge accelerates to the same direction as the electric field. So, the now, charge, di ba? Kani siya ang source. I indicated there an illustration na yung circle ng color green tapos na say kana siya is positive charge. So, ang arrow is ang indicate ha is ang force sa electric field. So, when a positive charge when a positive charge particle or that kanang charge na positive, ang indirection sa electric field niya is away from the source. Away from the source, paadto siya. So, but when it is negative, pag negative ang charge, then it will accelerate to the opposite direction. It will accelerate to the opposite direction. Pasugat siya sa sa charge niya. Sa negative charge niya. So I always remember that when a positive the electric field will accelerate to the same direction pag positive, opposite pag negative. Um, oh, here. We will try to we will try to solve this equation or this sample problem this sample problem that I get from YouTube. Credits to the owner. I indicated a link there so to para recognize the owner of the solving problem. So the solving problem here states that a force of 100 Newton is directed north on a negative microcoulomb point charge. Then what is the magnitude and direction of the electric field at this point? So the given values there are, the force is 100 Newton, the field there is mo na tong pangitaon, the magnitude of the electric field. Then the test charge there, the quantity of the test charge there is negative 20 microcoulomb. But since naka-microcoulomb siya, then the SI unit or the standard international unit of measurement na atong gamiton pag magkuanta is coulomb, so we will going to convert that. So same lang pag-convert. Ang negative 20 times lang na siya sa 1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6 coulomb. So 20 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6 coulomb. So actually ang answer sa ana is nasa nasa next slide. But then we will try to solve that. Oh my God. No, we will try muna to solve that before we will delve sa solving, sa solution. So, we will identify muna. So, we will identify muna the direction. We will identify muna the magnitude. I will explain further later kung ano yung direction. So, isolve ninyo. Isolve ninyo. So, remember that the equation is E, or the electric field, is equals to F, which is ang force, divided by the quantity or the charge of the test, the quantity of the test charge. So that is basically E is equals to 100 divided by 20 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6. So the answer is, who can tell me the answer? The answer will be,
Nakamute ka, Pres.
oh, ay sorry. I-divide lang diretso ang magnitude sa force sa test charge, sa quantity sa test charge. So that would be, it seems that you're still calculating. So I will for not that long. Okay, dali raman na, i-divide raman na ninyo. So unsay answer, April. Unsay result? Unsay result pag i-divide nimo ang 100 sa 20 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6. Okay na, wala paghihapon. You can divide naman. 100 divided by 20. Pila? How many is 20?
4, 5,
How many? Ay,
6.
how many is
5 po.
20?
5
Yeah,
po.
5. So that will be, the answer would be 5.0 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6 Newton per coulomb. So we will assess that if we are right. Next slide. So this, kanina ba ya, the test charge, focus muna sa focus your attention sa left part. There is a left part nga illustration ng nanay mga arrow. So we will determine first the direction. The direction. Di ba ingon ka ganina? Di nga ingon ka ganina is, wait lang. Ang ingon ka ganina is, ang point charge nato is negative. Diba? So I indicated there, this is the point charge in a circle, negative. So, pero the force of 100 Newton is directed north on a negative 20 point charge. So, on a negative 20 point charge, ang 100 Newton yung force directed north. So, I indicated there north. So, what is, di ba, directed north? So, we will going to find the direction of the magnitude the direction of the magnitude of the test charge in relation to the magnitude of the electric field. So di ba kanina ingon ako, when a positive charge, the electric field of a positive charge accelerate to the same direction. But when then the charge is negative, what will happen? The direction, it will also,
Opposite direction.
yeah, the opposite direction of the north. I'll say opposite directions to north. That would be south. So, the na, na, na-answer na to ang direction. So, the direction of the magnetic field at the point charge would be south. So, unsa iyang magnitude kaganina? So, yeah, answer yan to kaganina. So, the magnitude would be 5.0 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6 Newton per coulomb. So let us not forget that the unit of the electric field is Newton per coulomb. So the electric points. So therefore, the magnitude of the electric field is 5.0 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6 Newton per coulomb, going or accelerating towards south, paingon siya sa south from the negative point charge nga anaasa naka-indicate dira. So, understand or nakuha ba ang idea sa electric field?
Yes po.
Yes po.
Oh, I am glad to hear. So we will not further prolong and so please. So what are electric field lines? I guess this is very easy to understand. What are electric field lines? Um, may we have Aloisa to read to us the first highlighted point, kanang naka-arrow nga first, and then explain.
So the electric field lines are an exquisite way of visualizing electric fields and introduced by the founding father of electrical science, which is Michael Faraday. And this means that it is an imaginary line. It is to be able to Faraday to simply identify instead na mathematical study, he will be simply understood the flow of the electric fields lines. So, ano lang po.
So thank you for that short but wonderful thought coming from Eloisa. How about you hear the thought of April? Please read the second highlighted point na naka-arrow sa ikaduha and share your thoughts with regards to the idea that it is trying to point out.
So a field line is drawn tangent tangential tangential to the net at a point. As a result, the direction of the electric field is equal to the tangent of the electric field line. So, a more convenient way to visually represent the vectorial nature sa electric field is to use field lines of force. So instead of drawing a myriad of vector arrows in the space surrounding the source charge, it makes more sense to draw a pattern of multiple lines extending between infinity and the source charge, pointing in the direction of acceleration when a positive test charge is applied. And then the line is therefore directed away from the positively charged source and toward the negatively charged source.
So I guess there is no need to further discuss electric field lines since it is very clear naman yun ang giingon ni April. Electric field lines are just are just used to represent where does this forces or electric field directed or asa sila padulong. So this is only used to visualize the region or to visualize the factors are involved in the electric field. So I guess no need to further explain that. And may we go on or proceed to the next slide? Here, to a point charge. So, may we hear the idea of Maria Luisa? Sa first highlighted point, naka-arrow.
Okay po. So the electric field is the electric field is radially outward from the point charge in all directions. So the electric field from any number of point charges can be calculated of the individual field. So for example, sa illustration, di ba, consider a point charge Q that is positioned in a vacuum at the origin O. Then, if interconnect nato siya sa columns law, the charge Q will exert force on the other point charge Q if it's positioned at a position P where OP equals R. So, naa dito sa, sa photo, ay kaning illustration dali sa, slide. And then, an electric field is created by the charge Q and it permeates the entire environment. Yun lang po, Pres.
Thank you for that, Maria Luisa. Do you have any idea, Martha? You can add.
So, gamay na lang akong magbigay mo since naingon naman halos ninyo. So, ako lang maingon sa about sa electric, ay about sa field due to a point charge positive charge exerts when it is placed at a specific location. So, mo lang sa ako ang madulang since same lang ang idea sa na Louis.
So, thank you. May we have Eloisa? Namoy ma-share or April? Namoy ma-share or namoy ma-add pa nga laing idea?
Wala na siguro, Pres.
Wala na po, Pres.
Hmm. Thank you. Still thank you. So, I will sorry for that. I unmuted my mic and nilabay ang track. Saba kaayo. So, next slide na lang because there I attached there an illustration. Sa next slide pa. Balikan lang nato na aron ang kuan. Ang kana. So, field due to a point charge. Here we can ma-analyze nato or we can see here that there are kani siyang source, di ba? Kani siyang source. Then the point charge there or the test charge is kanang small letter Q. So currently, the test charge will experience a force coming from the source charge. So that force, may experience ng source. Okay ba? Ang test charge mag-experience of force nag-exert sa source charge. Then si test charge mag-exert of force. Then that means that we will identify the magnitude or we will identify the magnitude of the exerted force by the test charge. So we will ang idea lang ani is though I am not very sure, ha, I will not I will be confident about this. So, though, ang kuha na is, ang point charge that will be the ang atong main nga atong i-solve, or for example i-solve nato, which will be kung ang pila ang iyang na-exert na force, na force if siya naka-experience of force from the source charge. Then we can that we can solve that by using the formula. Pakibalik daw po, Mar. So that formula is that the force is equal to the Coulomb constant, which is denoted by K, um, multiplied by the source charge times the test charge over R squared, or the distance between them. So, pakibalik daw po ato kuan. Pakibalik po sa katong slide ganina. Kana. So, let us assume that, let us assume lang ha, that si source charge, take note of that because I will be asking later kung sa result. Let us say, let us assume that si source charge nasa charge nga 3 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6 coulomb. O si test charge nasa charge, or nasa charge nga 2 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6 coulomb. Then ang distance nila is, that will be 3 meters. That's kung lang. So currently, source charge daw, well, we will assume a charge, the quantity of charge of 3 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6 coulomb. That charge, as the source charge exerts force to the test charge, then it will have a charge of 2 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6 coulomb. Then ang ilang distance between them will be 3 meters. So what will be the force? What will be the magnitude of force nga ma-exert ni test charge kung ma-experience siya of 3 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6 coulomb nga charge coming from, or kung si source charge na ay charge nga 3 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6. So what will be the magnitude, or what will be the magnitude of the force? So simply you are just going to pakibalik ko dito sa kuan, sa slide sa nakita niya. So what we're going to do is we are going to, what is the value of the Coulomb constant? That would be 9 times 10 raised to the power of negative 9. What is the negative? 9 times 10 raised to the power of 9
Newton.
Coulomb. Then times na to na siya kay sa pilang quantity sa source charge, 3 times 10, wait lang. Kasi, i-multiply na to na siya sa pilang quantity sa source charge, that would be 3. 3 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6. Then si source charge, ay si test charge, na ay power, ay na ay charge na 2, multiply na siya sa 2 times 10 raised to the power of negative 6. Then, ang result ana, i-divide nato siya sa squared sa 3. Ilang squared sa 3? That would be 9. Divided by 9. So, mabili na lang taog pila. 6 times 10 raised to the power of negative 3. Wait lang. Pila ang unit?
Newton.
It seems that we are going to pause muna the discussion since that Marifea is experiencing some difficulties. Pakita lang kung Marifea na-charge ng laptop. Okay, para mag-continue na din ta. But still, sa those others who don't have, wala experience of difficulties, ay, okay, i-continue lang di ay. Sige, sige. So, what would be the kuan? What would be the unit there?
I think Newton
Hmm?
per
Anyone?
no.
Any three? Any four? Di ba? Kaya makancel naman ang Coulomb. Newton na lang mabilin. Newton na lang ang mabilin because we are solving naman for force. Because force is, the unit of force is Newton. Tama mo yung answer? Or parihara ba ta? 6 times 10 raised to the power of 3 Newton? Everyone, am I still audible?
Yes, press.
Aw, sabi na ako. Na ako na lang nag-solve. Nawala na akong connection. So, pareha ba taog kuan? Pareha ba taog kuan? Just simply multiply the Coulomb constant to the value of the source charge and the test charge. Then you divide that to the squared of the distance between source charge and the test charge. So I will be waiting for your result, and we will be to check if we have the same answers. So, just please don't take long para dali makaproceed na dahil sa ibang topic. Okay na? Paghihapon.
Okay na, press.
54
So, what is your
Okay na po,
answer?
blend.
10
Pag answer.
negative 6 divided by 9.
Ang ako apo kay 6.0 times 10 raised to the power of negative 3. Negative 3. Yun po.
So, I guess we are the same. We have the same. We arrive at the same result. How about Eloisa? Same lang sa Emuloy.
Yes. Yes po.
So that would be. How about April? Same lang ba? Ang result na na-arrive nimo?
Yes, press.
Okay. How about Marfest? Same lang ba?
Same ra sad po.
Oh,
Same lang po.
yes, yes. Thank you for that. So no need to further stay in this slide. We will now move on to the next topic. So here we will be going to tell about the topic field due to an electric dipole. So a dipole is a separation of opposite electrical charges, and it is quantified by an electric dipole moment. Who is going to share their idea with regards to this? Can we have Maria Luisa?
So according to this paragraph na wait, basta nakausap. So a dipole is a separation of opposite electrical charges and it is quantified by an electric dipole moment. So when we say electric dipole moment, it is actually the vector quantity with a magnitude equal to the product of the charge and the distance between the charges and having a direction from the negative to the positive charge along the line between the charges. Yun lang po, Prel.
Thank you for that. Anyone who have any idea? Yeah, we can. We will proceed to the next highlighted point. Can we have Eloisa? Eloisa to please read the second highlighted point and then discuss.
The simplest example of an electric dipole is a pair of electric charges of two opposite signs, an equal magnitude separated by distance. So in that statement, it means that we have this opposite charge, the negative and positive charges, bound to pair because wait, an equal separated by distance. But I can wait lang po. So we have this electric positive charge and negative charge. They have pair, but they have this in the middle. They have small distance between them, and I think it's what we call the dipole. So yeah, maalam po.
Thank you for that. Can we have Marfe or April? Might as well share your idea.
So yes, So sa ako ang according sa ako ang na-learn about og na-search is that ang field jud an electric dipole is that the product of any two charges regardless sa sign niya and their separation creates an electric dipole moment. So a dipole is a configuration of two charges with the same magnitude but has a different polarities that are separated apart by a certain amount. So also a dipole is made up of two charges that are equally spaced and opposed to one another. So electron is located far away, so the electric field strength it produces is always inversely proportional to the distance and the proportionate to the dipole moment. So
Thank you. April, do you have any idea that you can add?
Nana po, Pras. Same lang may idea ni Luisa po.
It seems that we have the same idea also because I can no longer I can no longer share any or additional informations with regards to the electric dipole. Um, as much as I wanted to is the next slide still electric dipole? I know. Sige. Go back to the slide for electric dipole. Again, as much as I wanted to have or to share my ideas with regards sa mathematical calculations sa electric dipole, but I have I am having a hard time. Honestly, I'm having a hard time digesting the informations na nasa internet because dahil-lahi ang or is it just me, but I guess that informations coming from the internet aren't that reliable. So nangita kog libro but then I cannot find any. So ang naalang yun is ang description lang niya, but so it's very unfortunate that I still don't have I still don't or I still don't have the confidence to share to you the mathematical calculations for electric light. But yeah, yeah, we'll no longer further delve into that unfortunate portion of this group discussion. But then I was just going to reiterate what other members have said. So electric dipole. Ano yung mean dipole? Dipole. Dalawang polar, ay may dalawang charge na magkaiba yung polarity or nature of charge nila. The negative and the positive. It is always said that the direction of an electric dipole always starts from the negative then to the positive. Based on my research, I searched this from the source is by just 2021. So muna ako ma-share. So let us proceed now to the next slide. So field due to continuous charge distribution. So in a continuous load distribution system, the charge is dispersed equally over the conductor. The continuous load distribution in the conductor is uninterrupted and continuous. So in the word itself, continuous, sunod-sunod ang iyang flow. So may we have Eloisa to have her idea be expressed or idea with regards to
Basahan na press ang sa slide.
if you want, ibasa naman ako, pero if you want, you can read it again.
So, based from the study of Davis, he highlighted the description of field due to a continuous charge distribution by integrating over the line, area, or volume. So in continuous charge distribution, we have this, the charge is evenly dispersed over the conductor and regions with no charge separate individually charged particles banded to one another. All the charges are tightly banded or there is very little gap between them in a continuous charge distribution. However, this tightly coupled system does not guarantee an uninterrupted flow of electricity. It is evident that there is small amount of space between each individual charges. So there are three types of continuous charge. One is the linear charge, the second is surface charge, and the last one is the volume charge. Mao lang po.
So, when you mean continuous lang yun ang flow. In a charged object, its charged particles or the charges in a charged object continuously distributed all throughout sa object na charge or maybe outside or maybe in the inside of the charged object. So, it was mentioned by Eloisa with regards to the three kinds or types of the charge distribution, the surface, the volume, and the linear. So, anyone have any idea with regards to this? Maybe we can have Luisa.
Okay, so according lang ni sa akong na-search, no, first, linear charge distribution is when the charge is not dispersed equally throughout the conductor's length. While ang sa surface charge distribution, it refers to the charge's balanced distribution throughout the conductor's surface. Then last is the volume charge distribution. Sa volume charge distribution, the charge is distributed over a driver's volume. Yan lang po, Brett.
Thank you for that. April. Marfe.
Ano po nila tanan sa yung report may idea po.
Ano po?
Thank you for that. Thank you. I believe that we can no longer have or we can no longer add any more information as we have say sources lang man ta siguro ang atong na searchan maybe we understand what we searched pero little lang atong ma-understand because still have, I mean, it takes time to understand the topic. So, it's not an excuse, ha. So, also remind to myself also, I also reminding myself that to understand a topic, it is not an excuse. So, kay ako pod, wala pod ko, gamay ra akong nasabtan. Basta, ang akong nasabtan lang, nilipisa ako ni Eloisa nga sa field, sa field, in an electric field, the charge object or its charges are continuously distributed. Means the flow is distributed continuously. Maybe na yung mga interaction nga mahitabo, but then minimal lang. Then the gap between the charges nga naga-flow o naga-distribute all throughout sa electric field o sa charge object the gap will be little only. But then that gap won't disturb or interact interrupt continuously the distribution of the charges. So um, we will not no I will no longer stay from this slide. Um, na-discuss na ninyo ko kanina. May we have Maria Luisa. Since ikaw ang nag-prepare, maybe you did have an extensive research over this topic. May you have graced with your
Actually po, ang kaning tulo, kaning naa sa PPT kay same na gyapon sa katong ingon nako ganina, pero although ang gibutang lang nako diriya is gihaluan lang nako siya og mathematical formula po or mathematical equation on how to solve that charge distribution.
Thank you for that. Maybe we will move to the next slide, please. So, walay topic about dipole in an electric field. Dipole in an electric field. Wala sa slide. Ikaw na lang.
Dapat
Ano na lang. Sige na lang. Ibalik na lang dito.
Okay na. Opo. Nara.
Katong sa disk na lang. Unya na lang itong dipole. Isunod na lang ito ang sequence sa slide. So here, field due to a charge disk. So the uniform ring or a disk of charge is the superposition of every single field because of all charged elements around the ring. So what does this mean? May we have Marfet explain it to us?
So, from the description of is that once the charge is evenly distributed across the entire surface and not just only on some particular areas, the charge is said to be uniformly distributed. So the characterization of uniform charge is conducting substance. So due to the presence of all charge elements surrounding the ring, the uniform ring or the disk of charge is the superposition of of every single field. So by including the charge ring, this can be encouraged. So the electric field of a charge circle might thus be determined using the ring field as a component.
So thank you for that. Maybe we have April. Kasi nakakita.
So honestly, press no, ang diri sa field due charge test is ang ako ang idea and naa sa PPT is like different jud siya, like murag mali jud ang ako ang idea. So murag wala ko'y ma-share ani na ano po.
So thank you. Okay lang na. Dili man tanan dapat dili man tanan jud ta ma-learn dayon on overnight. So maybe then we have Eloisa. Basta na kay kaadloy na idea.
Based from the slide, we have the different formula ata. Kasi yeah, we have the different formula. So I can longer add kay murag lahi pod ang mali pod ang ako diri. So basin mali akong ma-share. So wala na po.
Maria Luisa?
So, ang ako na search na formula actually complex gid kahining field due to a charge disk kay daghan kayo nakit-an na formula or any other mathematical equation about aning abot na siya geometry, abot siya scientific expression as in. So, yeah, lisod kayo i-derive ang formula or how would it will be solved po.
I share the same sentiment. It's really hard to find an exact article, an exact journal nga makita nato or man-discuss sa ato ang charge disk. Because kay ang kuan, while I am browsing the internet, Google, ang mga result dito is gibasa gid ako balik-balik. Honestly, I read it all throughout. I tried to understand the values. But then, my God, a big sigh, a long sigh, a heavy sigh. Dili gyud ma-understand. Because honestly, naagid ni siya mathematical equation. Na ni siya solving problem. Kung unsa kung unsa ang pag-find, kung saan to pag-find sa magnitude, sa magnitude sa force or sa mga kuan sa charges. Actually naagid nay calculation. But then, of course, as much as we want to share, pero we are not dili man ta ka share og maayo dili man we cannot share our ideas confidently because this is not what will be posted in the internet sa YouTube. So as a precaution, we will somehow because dili man ta kaayo familiar sa equation or sa mathematical calculation. So basta dili na lang nato siya sa atong kilid-kilid kay maybe or maybe not now pero ma-understand na gyapon nato siya. But then we will promise to ourselves that after this we will discuss or we will extensively search pa on kuan mga additional articles or researches para masabot pa nato niyog maayo. Because honestly, I also cannot understand na siya sa inyong hatanan or ma-share na ko ang thoughts. So, enough with that. May we proceed to the next slide, to the next topic. So this dipole in an electric field. So when a dipole is immersed in a uniform electric field, the net force on the dipole is zero because the force on the positive charge will always be equal in the opposite direction from the force at the negative charge. So may we have Maria Luisa to please um, have this idea be discussed to us.
Okay, so basahon lang na ako usab po na ang sa slide. So, when a dipole is immersed in a uniform electric field, positive charge will always be equal and in the opposite direction from the force on the negative charge. So kung pagsabot lang ani po is kung sa charge sa direction or dito sa opposite direction, then mo po same likewise sa previous direction. Kung for example, zero dito sa south, then same sa opposite sa south, mo na gihapon ang amount sa charge. Walang to akong pagsabot po.
Thank you for that, for sharing your thoughts, for trying to share your thoughts, Louisa. May we have April? April?
So, short lang ni akong i-share ha. So, an electric dipole can be as large as a long straight wire used as a radio antenna on which electrons are propelled back and forth and, and becoming negative at one end and positive at the other. So, ang polarity niya is reversed every half cycle po. Yun lang po.
So thank you for that. Though I don't know. Oh my god. I'm sorry for that. Um, may we have Marfe? Marfe, basta na ang kay idea. Um, Eliza?
Ano press, parang murag relate ba ata, di ko kabalaan eh. Parang from the statement, an electric dipole will always experience a torque whether the electric field is uniform or not. So parang dipole then nagawas diri kay electric dipole parang murag relate yung gihapon or dili.
Pardon, Loy?
Um, kuan man good dipole in an electric field. So from my research, you gawas kay an electric dipole will always experience a torque. So pareha na ba ang dipole o ang electric dipole in an electric field or lahi po? Kay na
Ay, wait lang. Nakuan, pareha lang
ang dipole sa electric dipole. Or so
I cannot confirm it confidently. Pero based on my own understanding niya,
so nabutan diri na it can experience torque. Um, when we talk about torque, it is a measure of the force that can cause an object to rotate about an axis. So it is a possible na ang electric field in a dipole in an electric field can be rotate if it if it we exert a certain force on it. But it depends on the electric field. We have this non-uniform electric field which can be affect our the forces or electric forces. Yan pa, electric field din. Yan lang pa.
so I would like to add some, na-mention ni Eloisa ang torque, which is, torque means, in other words, it's twisting. The process of twisting, or not process, but the twisting of both forces. Diba? Since they are dipole, duha sila, then they have equal charges, as what na-mention dito sa slide. They have equal charges. When the dipole in an electric field, this dipole will try to twist and rotate on its axis para mo align sila sa electric field. Kaya dapat akong nasabtan sa ako based on my research. Kaya dapat akong nasabtan nga kaning dipole sa electric field, it mo-twist sila, mo-twist sila. Then kanang pag-twist nila, mo-rotate sila sa ilang axis. Pag sila sa axis, mo-type sila og align sa electric field. Mura sa na ako ang kuan. I cannot further describe or discuss. But then the point there is naay dalawa, naay duha ka naay dipole sa electric field. And they will try to twist para mo-align sila sa electric field. I guess dila na tama, dila na to ma-confirm nga kana nga thought with regards to the dipole in an electric field. Next slide.
Torque.
Na pa ba? Wala. Wala di ay forced na point to charge in an electric field.
Mao po
Wala
na
ay,
ako erase unta na concern po. Sorry, wala na ako na-add sa kasi.
ay, so I guess
Mm.
mag-share lang tawag idea. So, force on a point charge. So, based on my research, according to Britannica, the force on a point charge signifies the strength of an electric field or electric field itself. So, force. When we mean force, ang kakusgon sa point charge sa electric field. So, it was confirmed by, katong state na ako kagaya nga source akong idea. Source, I derive my idea from that source. I do not own the idea. Derive my idea from that source. Ngayon nga, ang source daw sa electric, sa point charge, nag-determine ang sa magnitude or sa strength sa kakusgon sa electric field. As such, the exerted force is based on the unit of the positive electrical charge that is present in that point of charge as described by the Coulomb's law. So, do you have any idea? Basta na po may ika-share. Wala na? Sa force, ano point charge
Wala na
in... Oh, wala. Sige, sige. So, I guess we have arrived at the end of our group discussion activity for this afternoon. So, show some reference. So, those the informations in the informations that we have discussed are not owned by us. So, here are the references or the sources of the idea that we have presented. Credits to the owner for their thoughts that are utilized by us. So, um, I guess this will be the end of our group discussion activity. Again, good afternoon, everybody, and you can now stop the screen share, Loy.